Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe. If you already have, thanks. If you're returning, thanks even more. And if you're new, I am so glad you're here. I watched Selena at Amore Fabrics video with all the beautiful laces. Then I watched Shabby Dabby Doodah do some cool things with laces. Then I watched someone else who was going through all of their trims and laces. And it hit me, I need to do something with all my laces because, as you could see, I have a antique clothes basket, so it's not as big as what we think of our plastic ones, full of antique laces. A huge antique wooden bowl, so you know those big ones, full of antique laces. And beside me, I have a 3-door plastic drawers. The middle one is full of trim. Not all antique. I shouldn't have said antique laces, but laces. I have a basket full of the trim of the embroidered pillowcases, and those are old. They even have some yellow where they've been folded. And perhaps you saw some of those when I was trying to consolidate everything into this basket upstairs so I could bring it down here. Well, it's like, what do you do with all of that? Well, stay tuned and I'm going to tell you how you can get some. I have this huge piece of peach. I have not purchased all this lace. I have purchased some. Selena with Amore Fabrics has gifted me a lot. A lot I have just found here in this old house. Majority has been found or gifted to me. Now, I do sew, and I participate in Project Dress-A-Girl, and so a lot of my laces I put on those little pockets and some things like that. I don't do the antique, but I try and trim, once in a while when I think of it. But there's only so much lace a little girl can play in. So after watching all of those wonderful creative people getting loads of ideas, and I will put their channels below in my description if you would like to get some of the laces, I tried to think what I could do with a lot of this lace. And one totally copying, because I want to play with it. They inspired. That's the word I want. Those of you that are new to my channel, or those who aren't, I will remind you I have some brain damage from a coma 4 years ago. So my words don't always come natural. Well, I have this pretty peach. It is not antique by any means. And I thought I would do something with it. Now, in all honesty, I am sure I will never use all this. I am also sure I don't need any more for junk journals. I am, however, I just gifted 3 journals to our hospital auxiliary. because I don't sell journals myself. And that picnic basket, by the way, is to the right of me. So when it looks like I'm maybe throwing something on the floor, trust me, I thought I'd thrown it in that basket. And I may be digging in there for more. But I, like I said, just gifted a bunch, 3 to the Hospital Auxiliary to sell. And I have started another one. Mary, I will post Mary's channel too. I went blank on her name. Does what she calls is a porch journal. And I think, you know, that's kind of a fun thing to maybe do. So I may use the one I'm making. It'll just be a small one. And keep it somewhere so I can remember. So you can see how crooked that is. Isn't that sad? Let's use the other end. Maybe it's a little straighter. So anyway, I may try doing that. However, when I am sitting outside, it's either in between working out in the yard or something, clothesline, working up green beans or something like that. But I don't think to grab a journal to write. And so it's a junk journal, Kathy. It doesn't have to be straight. So anyway, I don't think to journal. I don't think to journal sitting in my chair at night. I have a lot of this. Isn't this fun? It's just crocheted. I think it's crocheted yarn. Trim. It's not lace, I don't think. Anyway. And I would like to do more journaling. Not that it's that exciting, but I think it would be therapeutic for me. My health is great. After finding out I alpha-gal and taking myself off of sugar and preservatives, and found out I'm allergic to wheat, I am so much better. And you know, the one thing I forgot to bring down was some paste for glue. So we're just going to lay this out, and then when we're done, I won't get this all done today. I'll bring down some some paste. And then I'll paste this down. And then I'm thinking about using my sewing machine to sew it on in some fun stitches. Or if it might be fun, Emerson's learning to sew. It might be fun to let her play with some of the fun stitches and do that. But what I'm doing is I'm going to kind of make a second layer of laces of different kinds and different colors. And then I'm going to glue like a applique, not appliques, but like clusters. That is the plan. Now, we all know that doesn't mean Kathy is going to. However, if you saw Shabby Dabby Doodahs, or if you haven't, it is fun to watch. She had some of this kind of trim lace, only it was butterflies. And she took a piece of her lace and then cut out the butterflies, and then decorated each of the butterflies. It was really fun. I have doilies and like this, as well as some trims like that. And I thought I would maybe do something similar. I have a lot of this kind of trim. I may end up adding some of that. I just don't know. And if Emerson wants to make one after she sees mine, I'll let her. Because we all know I have plenty. Now, if you would like some, PM me at or message me and I will give you my address. I don't want these things that are dangling down. I want this other one. And I will send you my address. You send me a Happy Mail to give me your address, and I will return the Happy Mail. I promise. With laces of different colors and stuff. I can't tell you I'm going to do certain colors. I'm not going to promise anything, except I'll send you some of this basket. But I have a lot of appliques. I even have some of this on my desk that I might incorporate. I think that's kind of fun and pretty. So some of that might get. I just have all kinds of stuff here. So, Selena, this is why I do not need you to send me and gift me more lace. Yours is beautiful. However, I don't need more. She is so generous to me. When I was in Florida, I went to visit to take her a huge, Carla, I mean huge. I mean, I have the SUV and it was packed of stuff to her. And she ended up giving me all that wool. If you saw the last video, that video with all the wool. So you can't stay ahead of her. I'm just kind of getting some stuff cut and laid out to see what I've got. I didn't plan anything. Kathy doesn't plan for this kind of stuff. But I will catch up on what we're doing. We've kind of been busy. We are in the process of moving to Missouri. And by next year, hope to have our house on the market, but we will be full-time here in Missouri. We will still visit Florida. We have a lot of dear friends from living there for the last 20 years there. We will always want to go visit. But we also know that we can go other places. We can rent a condo on the beach. We can go to St. Augustine. I've never been to a lot of places in Florida. We can go to Texas. We can go to all kinds of places that have beaches and are warmer in January than Northeast Missouri, and see. Take friends with us. Whatever we want to do. Now we're tied to a house. We're tied to a yard. When I get there, I have to keep the house. I'm much healthier now. I'm walking anywhere between 5 to 11,000 miles a day. Closer to 11. I think I'm at 9 or thereabouts right now. So you know, the sky's the limit in what we can do. And, you know, when you have your health, you have everything. And so we're wanting to do those kind of things. So, we decided to sell the house. We're up here in Missouri on the farm about 8 months out of the year. So we have put in a huge garden. We've always tilled up that much, but we are adding more vegetables because I'm tied to fresh fruit, vegetables, seafood, and fowl food. So I wanted some squash and some zucchini and some cucumbers and things like that Greg isn't a huge fan of. We have never planted those things, but he planted some. Today we planted potatoes, some flowers, because at one end we're planting zinnias and marigolds and some of those flowers that help with the bugs. And he loves it. It's farming for him, but also we like giving it away. We have several friends that like coming to get it, and so we gift it to it. Now, we did cut down on green beans because I told him, I said, we don't need to can them this year. We like them fresh. We like them sauteed with some onion and stuff in them. We kind of like bacon, but you know, that's not going to happen. I said, people who want green beans don't want to come pick them. We do have a couple friends that are willing to come pick them. But I said, I don't want to pick them to give them away. If they want free green beans straight out of the garden, I am more than willing to be generous. But I'm not going to pick them and take them to them all the time. I'll pick some and give them, don't get me wrong, but you know how it is. So, and he's a wonderful gardener. I mean, he's wonderful at gardening. So, we planted all those. The tomatoes and peppers he has put up so he can tie them to like a trellis. Cucumbers, he did the same thing. So we should have a wonderful garden. We're still going to plant, I haven't picked up watermelon and cantaloupe, muskmelon, whatever you want to call it. So I'm hoping to do that. I've got to pick up a prescription or two at the pharmacy, so somebody will be in town that can pick up some. And we have a friend. I have no idea how old she is. She was a close friend of his mother's and stuff, and we always take her stuff. And she said, now don't forget to plant that watermelon and cantaloupe. And so I told him, I said, Twyla wants cantaloupe and watermelon, so we cannot forget to plant that. And we need to do it earlier than we did last year because it kind of came almost too late. We were kind of done with watermelon by the time it came. You know, I think of watermelon for the 4th of July and, you know, time of year. And we didn't, it was later than that. So anyway, that's what we've done. Like I said, the garden's pretty much planted. So that is what we've been doing. His birthday is today, and so yesterday we did a shrimp boil, invited friends out to my son's, and we cooked. He's got an outdoor kitchen and a great place to do a shrimp boil, and he fried up some fish they had caught ice fishing, and we did a shrimp boil, and then Andy, bless his heart, cooked mine. I'm trying to decide what side's the right side of this. Andy on the grill fixed me some shrimp and fish away from the sausage shrimp boil. Since I'm allergic to wheat, I had to have gluten-free, so I found some of that at the grocery store and picked it up. So I had my own, and then tonight we're going to have leftovers, and my daughter-in-law's parents brought him for his birthday a Ziploc gallon bag of mushrooms that they had found, and we haven't had those in years. And so tonight I'll cook some of that up, and we'll have it with our shrimp, and I don't know if I'm gonna like this cut off or not, and fish that's left over. I have my little baggie, he has his baggie, and a big bag left over, but they cook just the right amount. Now the corn I won't freeze, but we're gonna try freezing the leftover seafood and fish, of the shrimp and fish and potatoes. I don't think the potatoes will do very well, but like he said, who really cares, you know? The potatoes don't do well, we'll throw the potatoes out. So anyway, that made a wonderful birthday gift. And a local, well, Danny, that many of you hear me talk about a lot, her daughter can make the best cupcakes. And so I had her make 3 different kinds of cupcakes. And so we had those as the dessert, plus Andy likes getting the cheapest biscuits and deep fat frying them and rolling them in sugar or cinnamon, whatever he rolls them in. And so that was the dessert. And we don't have too many cupcakes. They said they were wonderful. I take their word for it. So, yeah, that's kind of fun to have this year. For some reason, have a needle instead of a straight pin holding that down. Selena, I think this is some you gave me. Well, probably all of this she gave me, if the truth is known. I just saw this laying in the basket and thought this is going to get shorter, I know, because I have about a couple, 24 inches maybe, of this lace laid out. So anyway, this is what I'm doing. Now, if you would like lace, message me, send me Happy Mail. If you want to send a stamped envelope, that would be very appreciated. Kind of lets me know how much you want, and I will send you some of my lace. Then if you want to make one of these, you most certainly can. I'm going to go fix some supper, and I'll play with this some more, and I'll let you see it when it's finished. Bye for now. Hello, friends. I am back. This is Calico Kate, day 2. Haven't touched a thing. Did get the glue stick, so I'm going to glue down some of my laces. I'm going to cut it off so that this is as big as I'm going to make it now. I'll use that other for something different, but if I try and do that huge piece, it will never, ever get done. I decided I am doing a lot of white and with touches of other colors. I found these little turquoise, aqua, whatever you want to call them. And oh, this is cool. That doesn't look like something I want to do here, but I might do later. And as always, I have it done extra planning because, you know, something like this, you just don't know what you want to do. But I kind of like these little flowers. No idea what this was from. I didn't buy it. I'm guessing it was in a pile of stuff somebody gifted me, or I bought. Sometimes when I was at auctions, I really enjoyed getting a pile of laces or fabrics or whatever, and playing with them. I really like this too type thing. I think it adds some dimension to it. Like I said, I'm not gluing yet, but I did think just before I sat down, I needed to run up and get that. So there we are. Need some more white, I think. Isn't that pretty? I think I'm not sure where I got it, but I'm going to add a little bit to it. I've been for my walk. I had some almond flour pancakes for breakfast, so I'm not going to be hungry for lunch. But that's okay, because we're going to have leftover shrimp boil again and fried mushrooms. That's what we had last night, so I just heated those back up in the oven. Worked just fine. And then I fried Greg's mushrooms and his, and then I just fried mine in egg, because I sure didn't want to taste in like almond milk, and that's the kind of almond milk I drink. So that goes this way. So I just played. If this is your first time being here, again, I welcome you. I know I welcomed you to, yes, at the beginning of the video, but just want to welcome. I keep forgetting in my head, this is part 2 for me, not all of you. To you, it's just one long video. But I'm not going to be here long. I wonder about a little violet. I've got laundry going. I've got one load in the wash machine, and I've got my sheets washing now that I'll put on the line. And I will do that. I have decided I am going to paste, and then I can move this upstairs to finish. I am not going to sew it. I've got to cut out some baby burp claws and a blanket for a gray nephew that will be born this fall. And, well, I should say into the summer. And they're in Florida, so I for sure want to get that made and cut out. And today I've got time to cut all that out. And I'd like to get them made. I'm just going around these hearts. Sorry if I get out of the camera, but I'm not wanting those little bitty pieces to fall on my lace here. I think I'm going to end up using them all, and that's just fine. I need to use up stuff. I was watching Mary Artlier, I can never say it right, last night, and she was making Twinchies on her, from just scraps on her desk, and some other things. And I want to make a bookmark for my Bible, and I thought, you know, I could do that with just scraps on my desk, because I have plenty. It's a beautiful day out, high winds, but I walked in shorts and a t-shirt, and yesterday I was walking with a long sleeve shirt and a sweater over it. And then when we started planting in the garden, I found a sweatshirt to wear, because a sweater's not real conducive to planting potatoes. And so I need something behind each of these little hearts to make them stand out. Now I have some pearls I can add, and I have decide what I want to use. You know? Oh, what do I have in here? That's all fabric, and I'm not wanting to use fabric. Guess that's all the white appliques I've got. Got some little white flowers in there, but I think in that bag I'm already using our stuff. So, but I'm not sure about this light blue. Well, I think I like light blue better than that turquoise on here. It just doesn't seem to go. So I'm going to take those off and use those for a different project. And I'm going to glue stuff down before I knock this all over. And this glue is old, so this is the perfect thing for it. I just needed to go up the steps. This is a very old house, and the steps are up to my craft room. my sewing, I brought down here because there were so many days, and still are, that I just can't climb the steps. My knees, you know, the body wears out, and I'm still healing as far as the body. And sometimes too, I just want to have something on the TV, or the kids bring in something and it's going to take me 2 seconds to fix it. So it's like, I don't want to go clear up the steps when they're sitting here visiting. So I just really like it down here. It's in the back of my living room, which isn't real conducive, but you know what? It is what it is, and nobody has complained, and I don't think my friends would anyway. Now, many have been here and seen this mess. Few have seen upstairs. That's kind of Emerson and I's domain, and except for family, we don't go up there. I know this paste is not the best way, but remember, this is not permanent. This is just so I can move it and it doesn't go anywhere. This also works if, like, you're putting Velcro on something. We were making at my hospital auxiliary port pillows for cancer patients and heart patients, and you use Velcro, and you got to sew around the Velcro. Well, I took my paste and I Velcroed that glued that Velcro down so that we could you could move and not deal with the straight pin. I don't like to deal with straight pins with Velcro. And so it works so well. We were doing them in mass production style. And it worked so well. That was somebody's job. It was quite quick to have them glued on and then to sew. Some have asked me if I'm going to have lives. I don't know if I'm going to go back to lives. I just don't know. I've thought about it. It's kind of easy to, you know, just have it and put it up. I've started 3 videos and haven't finished any of them. And I did some slow stitching and was going to video the tape that twice, never did. Oops, that goes that way. I was going to have different, you know, like a little series of it. Never did. It's down here on the floor where I started it. And I will get back to it, I'm sure. But with the end of school, the kids get out the 16th, which to me is early. And so right now, all of their end of the year things, Friday, Emerson and Jackson will both be participating in the elementary track meet. Emerson will be interesting because she hates to run and she hates to get sweaty. Jackson lives for running. He's quite fast in those short sprints, like 50-yard, 100-yard dashes, what He's very fast in those. He's not a long distance runner at all, but boy, a relay team or something like that, I think he'd be good at. But, and then, see, that's Friday from 11 to 2, and then that evening is Emerson Spring Dance Recital. So we'll be going to that, and there's something else Friday, if I remember right. So Friday is going to be a great, oh, I have DAR from 5 to 6, so I doubt I even make that. So that is kind of why my videos take a back burner. That, and I'm trying to keep up with the house better than I did before I was sick. I try sweeping and cleaning my bathrooms daily. No, they don't really need it, but it's a reason for me to get up and move. My last year, my kids got me an Apple Watch, and I am really trying to keep up with closing my rings. Those of you with an Apple Watch understand what I mean. It means you get up and move. Mine tells me to get up and move 10 times a day. I'm to burn 400 calories a day, and walk 30 minutes. Well, I've been walking about an hour. I've already got in 41 minutes, and I'll have more when I put clothes on and off the line. But gonna put this on the very bottom like that. And so anyway, I am trying to move more. Well, you don't get much movement in if you're sitting and crafting all day, I'm learning. And sitting and crafting all day is a wonderful thing to do. But kind of cool, isn't it? I think we'll just put it right there above on that hand. This is all I've got of this, so don't want to use it all on one thing. So anyway, I craft and then I don't get it posted because I have other things I'm trying to get done. And you guys understand that. You're all just like it. It's something behind this. Kind of like a, oh, here we go. A piece of a vintage napkin. I don't know that I call that lace, but I don't call this lace either, so we're good to go. But I'm trying just to stay busier and more active and get outside of myself. I'm very sensitive, and it doesn't take much to hurt my feelings, and then I dwell on it. And, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda stuff. And so, if I am busy doing other things, I don't put that there. I don't do that. And let me tell you, grandkids certainly can get you out of that. I need something that goes up right through here. That's pretty, isn't it? So I'm going to post when I can, and shoot, I might end up doing a live today. I don't know. Kind of nice thing about being retired. You can do what you want to during the day. I'm getting some laces used. Use your stash. I'm definitely doing that. I'm still trying not to buy any craft supplies, so and I don't need any. I don't need any. I don't need to buy anything. I have to wash this. I need some of that coffee dye color over here. Just bring it over, I think. You don't have to glue much, just so the pieces halfway stay put where you want them. Need something here. I don't like that big flower. I'm not crazy about this fabric, but I thought it would make somewhat of a difference. Well, that would be nice for something else. I'm gonna put those little flowers. Don't like that there. I know, I heard you. That's ugly. Don't do it. And what I'll do with this when I get it done is use, you know, like cut parts of it for maybe a junk journal cover, for a cluster, something like that. Love this little netting for the back of stuff. And like I said, I've got all these pearls. I've got buttons and stuff like that I can add, but I want to do that, I think, last. So that. And I may even wait and do it when I actually use the piece. Or somebody may find this in their happy. I don't know. My girlfriend called and we're doing lunch tomorrow. So I'm going to pick up watermelon and cantaloupe seeds then. And Pizza Hut is having some special, but the only thing I can have at the Pizza Hut is a salad. So we're going to go to the pharmacy, and she can go to the Pizza Hut with another friend or her kids or something, because the pharmacy makes much better salads than Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's just a little side salad, and I think they just even use iceberg lettuce. Well, if I'm going to pay and smell the delicious aroma of pizza, I want a good salad. Because that Alpha-Gal's no fun. I had made peanut butter cookies, and I still have a few more I could bake. And then last night, Jackson came up to get cupcakes. I offered to Andy to leave the cupcakes down there at their house. He said, no. He said, because we'll just eat them down here. And he said, we can come up and get them if we want them. So Jack and Nikki's parents had given Greg wild mushroom, a gallon of it, to him for his birthday. So I fixed those. Well, Jackson came up to chore, and he started eating some of Papa's mushrooms, because while I bagged up his, and he was going to take all my mushrooms. And I said, no, those are Papa's birthday present. You're not taking all of them. I ate some rolled in just egg batter, and they were good, very good. But they just aren't the same as when you roll them in milk egg mixture and flour and all that. So I don't know that I'm even going to fix any for me tonight. I might fix a few, but anyway, as I was saying, I baked some peanut butter cookies. Well, I like them with my hot tea because they're kind of dry, and I dip them in my hot tea. Sorry if that sounds unkosher to some of you, but you know what? It's my hot tea and my cookie, my living room, and I was alone. And so I told him he could have one of my cookies instead of a cupcake. And you know what? That child did not even jump on that. I think that may just end up like that. I don't know. I may put like some, beads or button, maybe a button on top of it or something. Well, kind of. I have 5 button boxes. So, and some people are huge button people. I'm not. A button is a button. If I love the button, I am going to use the button. I don't care if it's old, new, or what. That's just how oh, well now, wait a minute. Pardon my reach. But I just saw this little pile on my desk. And I would say a lot of it's because they've been given to me. I've never bought buttons unless it was for a little outfit or something. I've not needed to. Between my grandmother and my mother-in-law and Greg's grandmother's, that's just not been something I've needed. So, they're beautiful. I enjoy when people want to look at them, but I look at my buttons when I'm doing something like this. Where's that one I really liked? The whole thing was I was going to put some then through it, want something a little thicker than yeah, that's about the thickness I want. But I just don't get excited about that. I found a huge tin of and gave them all to Selena. I said, I don't need them. My hubby came in. He's been outside doing something bush hogging, I think. Yep, that's my hubby. Came in for a drink. Gluey stickers, fingers do not thread buttons now. This is when upstairs is handy because I have wet wipes right there. And I don't here. I'm going to thread this. I have to wet the end, and it's just natural to do it with my mouth. I don't know about you all. Again, my house, my rules. I could probably embroider some on this. I'll show you what I've got done on that yellow piece I said I was working on. I did one video with it. Yeah, this needs some buttons. Ooh, I like that there even better. And I'll take this upstairs. I might take the camera with me and finish this upstairs. But this is how far I've come so far. See, this one moved. I didn't get it glued down well enough for where it was. Now I don't remember where it was. See, now I got to do this to see what moves. Nothing moved. Okay. So this is a start to my lace. Whatever it's called. And like I said, I'm going to work more on it. I want to put some beading, some stuff like this on it. I like that right there. And then hot glue it down or something so that I can use it. But I'll see how well it all sticks with the paste and all that kind of stuff. But let me show you what I set this over to dry. One whole big piece came off with it. This is the embroidery piece I've been working on. And I started it just slow stitching and catching you up on where I've been and what I've been doing. I have drawn here some flowers I've started embroidering on. I've got this wool bunny. Got this to finish. And like I said when I started it, I doubt it will ever be done because there's so much I can do with it. But I've pinned a few things. I've tacked down this big heart, but I'll add some stuff. This is silk that was on top of those wool pieces from Selena. And then I still have all this. I can cut off. I can do whatever. And like I said, this has absolutely no purpose for me. I am just doing this as a relaxing thing. It's crossed my mind to make it into a big soul vessel, which is like a basket. But it's just something that I work on when I'm in the mood to just not think and want to sit here and do something. But for this video, I will stop now. I will tell you have a wonderful day, and always remember, you have a purpose. Find that purpose. Bye-bye.